What's going on, guys? It's Andrew here from What's Good in Wrestling, and it is Royal Rumble season. We are finally getting into the season. It's like Christmas, and everybody loves the Royal Rumble. So if you guys are new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe. I'd love to have you guys here. I'm a huge wrestling fan, and I love making content. Tons of videos coming, lots of upgrades to the set, and we're going to get right into this video. I can't even begin to tell you guys how excited I am for the Royal Rumble, and I'm sure you guys are as well. Because it's just the time of year where all wrestling fans that get to collectively come together and freak out over entrants, over the men's and women's Royal Rumble, and big matches are starting to happen, and it's the road to WrestleMania. So today we're going to be talking about Royal Rumble returns and debuts and just a little bit of everything, but because this is Royal Rumble week, I'm going to be making a ton of videos. So if I don't talk about a specific wrestler or a debut or something like that that you wanted me to, I guess, don't worry, there's going to be tons of content this week and I will be talking about it. So to start off, I'm going to be talking about a few names that I think are rumored, but I don't think that they'll actually end up coming in to the Royal Rumble, and this includes men and women. So let's get right into it. I'm going to start off with the indie god, Matt Cardona, aka Zack Ryder. Okay, I'm not going to do... Actually, I'm going to do it. Woo, woo, woo. You know it. Everybody knows Zack Ryder, a.k.a. now Matt Cardona. He says Zack Ryder is dead. I believe now he's been named the best indie wrestler for the second year in a row, so congratulations to him. But obviously, his wife, Chelsea Green, is in the WWE. She's been doing really well since she's come back. She's been a tag champ, and she's made it seem like, okay, maybe one day her husband will come back to the WWE and it'll be awesome and he'll get a huge pop as Zack Ryder. But as he's explained before, on the indie scene, he's been making a ton of money. He doesn't need the WWE. He doesn't need to come back because he has his own schedule and everything like that. Now, that might just be him playing it off to try to, not really make people think that he's going to come back. But at the same time, I think he is enjoying his life, but he would be really interesting. I would love to see him. If he does show up, I'll definitely get excited. There'll be a pop from me. The next name up is Okada, and we do know that he has just left New Japan. Now, the only tricky thing is I believe technically, and I could be wrong, his contract is going to be up on January 31st, which is after the Royal Rumble. So it doesn't add up, right? But it's also been rumored that AEW will be signing Okada. He'll end up over there. It makes a lot of sense. AEW usually gets a lot of this international talent that comes from New Japan, and he just kind of fits into the system that they're going for. Triple H and Shawn Michaels are said to be huge fans of him. I'm sure the money and whatever else would be really good in WWE as well. I'm sure they'll get into a bidding war with AEW, but ultimately, him being in this Royal Rumble would be really awesome. I just don't see it happening, but who knows? It would be pretty cool. The next name is MJF. Now, this is one of my favorite talents in the entire world. I love that he can be a really good heel and also a really good baby face. He's just a good talent. Shout out to him in the Iron Claw. He did really well when he was in that movie and producing and stuff like that. I really love MJF. I love his promo work. I think that he's done a really good job. He did a great job as AEW World Champion. I know a lot of people didn't like his run, but I thought he did well with what was given to him, I'm sure. And ultimately, I think he's already re-signed with AEW, and I think he's gonna go back after his injury. It's gonna be almost a year. Adam Cole will more than likely be the world champion once he's done being injured. The whole storyline will just continue all the way up until then, and you're going to see Adam Cole versus MJF for the title, where I ultimately think MJF will win it back. So it would be really cool if the bidding war of 2024 was a real thing, but that ship has sailed. MJF is AEW for life. So for the last person that I think won't come or potentially doesn't have a chance to show up is Sasha Banks, aka Mercedes Moné. Now, I'm a big fan of Sasha. If anybody's followed me on Twitter, which if you haven't, it's at Andy Pillock. I'll leave it in the description. But I've always been a fan of Sasha Banks, and I'm happy for her that she's been doing well outside of WWE, briefly because she got injured again, and I do feel bad for her because she had so much momentum on her side. But There's been rumors that she is already signed with AEW, and again, I'd be very happy for her if she did. But as a WWE mega fan, I would love to see her enter the Royal Rumble, because that just adds another legit name to the Women's Rumble, and she's already been a legend in the WWE. Like, whether you like it or not, Sasha Banks is probably a Hall of Fame WWE wrestler by the time her career is over, and she would make a huge impact in the WWE if she came back. Megastar, huge name. It just makes sense, but I don't know if it's going to happen. So let's get into some names, some more guarantees, some kind of names that we're on the fence about. But the first one is going to be Naomi. Now, we know that she's just finished up her time with Impact, aka TNA, and, you know, they're starting to come back a little bit. So I was kind of surprised that she left, but I guess the plan all along was for her to come back to WWE. She obviously needed some time away. Now that Triple H is in charge, there's no Vince McMahon there. I'm sure she's going to be booked a lot better, and she's probably going to be one of the favorites to win the Royal Rumble. I do believe she will be in this match. I think it makes a ton of sense. She's really talented. I've been a huge fan, and I'm going to be happy to see her back, and I think the crowd's going to give her one hell of an ovation. So let's see what she pulls off when she returns. And again, I'm saying this as if I know, but I'm pretty sure it's going to happen. The next one that I want to talk about is Jade Cargill. Now, she's been with the WWE for a while now, but she hasn't properly debuted. She's been on television. She's made a couple TV appearances, but she's never actually gone out to the live crowd. She's never had a match. I know she's been working with Natalya in the dungeon, which is the best place for her, learning from Natty and TJ. They're two of the best technical wrestlers to learn from. And she's going to have to come into this Rumble and prove herself. Now, I'm going to be making a video on who I think will win the Women's Royal Rumble and the Men's Rumble. I think Jade has a really good shot. She has to debut here, but how WWE handles it is another question. So be on the lookout. That video, if it's not already up, depending on when you're watching it, is coming out very soon. We'll have to see what she can do when she enters this Royal Rumble, if she does. Let's talk a little bit about Liv Morgan, another person that I believe could potentially be a favorite to win the Rumble, and I will talk about her in another video, but we know that she's had some issues outside, some very minor stuff, but I'm very happy, hopefully, for her to come back as soon as possible. Liv would be a great entrant into this Rumble. The crowd always loves her. She always puts on pretty good matches, and she's a fan favorite. Whenever you want big surprises, big pops, you bring back people that actually, like, the fans will go nuts for. And I think that she's definitely one of those talents. And it's nice to see wrestlers who, like, I truly believe have a chance to win the Rumble come back. As my light just went out, that's just fantastic. Well, hopefully that light works temporarily. But back to the video, Liv Morgan. I would love to see her come back. I think it would make a lot of sense. And she does have a legit shot to win, which makes it a lot more interesting. So I'm going to put Liv Morgan on this list. You got to talk about Sheamus. Sheamus has to come back in this Rumble. He's had a lot of time off, and now Pete Dunne's back. It's going to be a little bit different. He doesn't have his boy Butch there. It's going to be Pete Dunne. That's going to make for an interesting little appearance, I guess. They're a little back and forth in the middle of the ring. That would be really cool if that happens. But Sheamus is a legend in the WWE. Again, people probably look at me and think, damn, you're just throwing out this word so loosely. But we're talking about a guy that's won it all and done it all in WWE. So if he comes back to the Royal Rumble, expect a big ovation, expect a really good performance from him, and Sheamus coming back would just make this so much better. Is our boy Andrade going to be coming back? I think so. Andrade, who was just previously in AEW, we know he is the husband, fiance, boyfriend to Charlotte Flair. I would really be excited to see Andrade back. I remember all the matches that he was having in NXT, and then the classics that he had with Rey Mysterio. This guy puts on really good matches, and he was best booked under Triple H, and that's the guy who's in charge now. So seeing Andrade back in a WWE ring would just make me really happy, and it looks like it's going to happen. It's been teased for a little while here, and this is his home, and I hope he does come back. So I've got two more names here, and they're kind of connected to each other in the past, and that one of them is Big E. So Big E's been injured for so long, man, and we love Big E. He's a guy that was pushed into the main event scene. He finally got his moment, And, you know, over time, it kind of fell apart a little bit, but you always thought, damn, like, he's going to climb that mountain again. Big E is going to come back to that title picture. But he's never got that chance because of a very severe neck injury. And he's been out for a really long time. So imagine having Big E come back in this Royal Rumble. You would get that real good feeling of, damn, like he's finally back. The crowd would go nuts. I would pop. Everybody would pop. And I'm hoping to see him. I just wish him the absolute best. Big E is just, he seems like such a nice guy outside of the ring, a guy that you would want to go and hang out with. So Big E, I'm wishing you the best, man. Hopefully you come back in this Rumble, and let's see if he does. The person kind of connected to Big E, and I left this name last for a reason. AJ Lee, the wife of CM Punk, one of the better women's wrestlers that we've seen in a long time. AJ Lee always puts on a good performance, really good in the ring, but she's been basically retired from wrestling for years now. And it would be so cool to see her come back after, you know, her boy CM Punk came back to the WWE. It'd be really cool to see her back, see her competing in a WWE ring again, even if it's a one-off at the Royal Rumble. I think it'd be really special. It would give that like sense of, oh my God, like this is huge. Like nobody expected this to happen. It would be one of the biggest returns in WWE history. It would be one of the bigger returns in women's wrestling history, probably one of the biggest returns at the Royal Rumble ever, because people don't give AJ Lee enough credit. This would be a big moment. Do I think it's going to happen? No. Would I love for it to happen? Yes. I had to leave her last because I think it means the most on this list. So let me know what you guys think. Do you agree with me? Are any of these names going to pop up in the Royal Rumble? And if I missed any, let me know down below. But there's probably some names that I left out here on purpose, because there's a full week of videos coming, a lot of great content for you guys. I love wrestling, you love wrestling, and this is Rumble season, man. I'm so excited. So that's what's good in wrestling. I'm Andrew, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.